I always think of people as like walking universes. That's what I can convey is my own universe. And that includes everybody that's a part of your universe and how that extends out into the world.
Hey, hi, I'm Bobbi Salvör Menuez, and I'm here today with Topical Cream and my dear friend Jade, aka Puppies Puppies, in her green room. What's up?
Hey, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me. I would like to start asking you about where you trace sort of like the roots of like your art practice.
Yeah, I feel like it always comes back to being young. I feel like I was really a nervous kid, and so I would like live mostly online. I feel like I had a pretty digital childhood in a way, because it's like a way that you can kind of be yourself. Art for me started off that way because I was like, oh, it's a way to like have a voice and like be creative while you're doing it. But I feel like how the work started was like under this name, like you would have a screen name on the internet.
It's cool to hear about, yeah, like the internet and the screen name as part of it too, like for especially like queer kids, as this place to sort of like imagine possibilities beyond whatever is the given. I feel in your work like there's this through line of self-portraiture. In the earlier work that I knew of yours, there was a lot of like use of costume and like cosplay and sort of almost like obfuscation or hiding that then like, you know, I think there has been this like evolution towards like then making like nude work, which is like sort of like getting as far away from like the Minion costume as you can get.
Yeah, I was like a mascot in high school. I kept gravitating towards things that I was hiding myself in. It was something that morphed into like, I was like, okay, now that I'm transitioning, I just didn't want to like try to like not have that part of myself be visible, because I feel like it's a time where people are like, especially kids, are like scared to let themselves be themselves in the environment that we're in, especially trans kids. And so I was like, okay, maybe like if I think about a little kid going to a museum, just knowing that the artwork is by a trans person, that would make a big difference. So I'm like, maybe you can try to push yourself to do that. But then as I've been doing it, I'm like, oh, you still like to hide. Like that's not something that just went away with coming out as a trans person. And so I wonder about the costume, and I'm like, is it, yeah, like I said, like, is it okay to put it back on? Because there's certain artworks that I've been thinking about it for.
Some of your work is really like in the world of the found object, right? I'm just like curious how you might define sort of like your own filtration process that sort of splits things up into art or not art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I feel like this is a good time to do a costume
change.
I feel like I've always loved searching. Like even like games that I would play was like magical searching for things. Like, and I feel like that's what art kind of became for me. Like it's like almost like isolating everything as one thing and being like, what does this mean? Or like, what could this read as? But now I've been like trying to expand to anything, but then within certain boundaries, but I don't know what those boundaries are. I like these full experiences too. I feel like that always sticks out to me, like when it's like something that feels immersive. Like I'm not a Christian, but like I got raised as a Christian, and something that I would think about a lot is like they did this like whale, you were like Jonah in the belly of the whale thing, and I was like, I love this, because it was like you're inside this like inflatable bag, but it really, they turned off the lights and it really did feel like you were like inside an animal or something. Whoa. The way they set it up, and I was like, I feel like I was really inspired by those moments. Like the art can sometimes be like trying to find those experiences too, as well as objects, because then an experience like a bedroom encompasses so many different objects that all have, I feel like in some ways, been used as art or something at a certain time. And so
I'm thinking about this feeling of like transportational experience, and also like thinking about these kind of like domestic spaces that you've like brought into institutional spaces, what is interesting there for you? I guess also like how do you think about performance within like these immersive experiences that you're creating?
I feel like with the domestic space, it's like, I wonder if you feel this way too, because there's so much love put into where you live, like that it's like this space where you can feel safe to like experiment and be yourself in this way that's different. I kind of tried to bring that here, even though I'm on display and it makes things hard.
Yeah.
I just left myself be open.
It kind of is exciting for me also to think about claiming your own space in you know, the institutional landscape and the art world.
I feel like with claiming space, how I thought of it with this installation is like, okay, as artists, we go to put something up and there's this like very kind of like business transaction that sometimes happens. We're so much more than those like isolated experiences. And so with art, I'm like, okay, maybe it doesn't, like with this installation, I'm like, maybe it doesn't need to be like, I set the art there and I leave and that's what happens. Like, what if the institution had to start to care about the artists? My expectations are high in some ways, and it's more so wanting the rights of the artists to be more acknowledged, and that it is a whole system that runs off what we put out into the world and what how we express ourselves. So I'm like, what if there was more care put into the person, the brain that's behind those types of things? I'm
kind of like, you say that you have high expectations, but I'm kind of like, I think that's an appropriate standard. Maybe it's high in contrast to like what's the established norm, but it doesn't mean that it's like actually unreasonable. Like, it's not just a performance, like it's interwoven into your life. Topical Cream always likes to ask, what have you been watching on TV?
I've been obsessed with the show Star. There's a main character that's a trans woman, Amaya Scott, and it really dives into her as a person. And yeah, I've just been binging it.
Oh, I want to watch it.
It's good.
Well, thanks for having me in your space today and letting me wear this special outfit. And I love talking to you.
I love talking to you too. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
That, you should keep it.
This?
Yeah.
Don't you need it?
No, keep it.